Greetings and welcome. We are back in action 3 weeks running in a row, and I'm proud of it. I'm proud of it. I am dang proud of it. What's going on, Pyrnassius? We are back for another week of RuneScape Weekly.
We are. How is everything going, Mr. Sleepyhead?
Yeah, I rolled out of bed at 9:45, and I'm sorry about that.
That's okay. As I said, I thought maybe he's just slept in, or he had to sort of run his grandma out. So I'll hang around till 1 a.m.
Pretty sure I got all the details on that story.
Yes, but you got in with 5 minutes to go, so it was well timed.
It was. That's one word for it. Well timed is my middle name. I am working on getting the pre-show up as we speak. It'll be on patreon.com/RuneScape for our $1 pledges momentarily as I convert it over to an MP3 file here. Today's the 12th, right?
It is, yes.
Right.
I look down, it says the 13th, but I've always got to go backwards.
Yeah, you got to remember I live in the past.
I know.
Like,
I am. Hey, maybe that's what we should call the new podcast that I'm trying to do with the RR-Man.
This is not
coming RuneScape from the future.
RuneScape from the future. That's an interesting thought, yeah. Well, that's definitely not the file I'm looking for. We'll just wait on that pre-show here for a moment because that file is not done processing. All right, moving along. Yeah, we're gonna get into the show, I think, pretty quickly here. How you doing, Killer Bunny? How you doing, Yazi? We're gonna let's see. I'm gonna open up the notes. I think that's probably a good. We have a long list of PSAs today.
We do have quite a few.
Oh yeah,
PSAs.
it's a good idea. For me at least to try that again. I clicked on the good old-fashioned Solomon Store button instead of the Play Now button, which is good. I like that. Right in my way. For this show, this is going to be an interesting show. I'm going to have to...
Before you do that, we just want to give a shout-out to Died to Bleed, who has just subscribed with a Tier 1 sub for 13 months in a row.
Oh, very nice. That's Fatty. Thank you very much, Fatty. Holy crap. 13 months. That's over a year.
That is.
That's awesome. I am... There should have been sound for that. Where's X? Oh, that's because we're on the... We're on the overlay. That's why.
Yeah, I figured something happened because you'd normally call that out straight away.
Yeah.
I just want to bring your attention to that
Hang
one.
on. Yeah, I'll launch Streamlabs and force that alert through again if I can, because that is a big one. Yeah, no problem. Thank you so much for being a loyal, awesome person for so long to us. I really appreciate that. That is so great. So, generally I'd be doing my Heffen course, but this is a really important show. So I think I'm just going to do agility bikes. Because I still have some XP left there. And I have Silverhawks, which will maintain my XP per hour for me, basically. To a minimum. And I haven't checked my skill of the month. Where am I at? Have I caught back up to Sorensen yet?
No, he did about the same. You must have scared him because he did about the same amount of XP in the day yesterday as you did.
Okay. So. Yeah, he's. I've definitely like spooked him. He's putting effort in now.
That's
good,
it.
Good.
He's not just doing the 5 million in a day and then forgetting about it for the week.
Yeah, good. I'm glad I've got him on his heels. Okay. I'm glad. Oh no, this is a fun, healthy competition. I don't actually. It's like when I'm not. This is the only anime reference you're ever gonna see me make because it's the only anime I've ever seen. But like, it's like when two like Super Saiyans meet up for like finally the first time, or it's like, you know, when two like ancient warriors that have been around forever. It's like, you know, it's like finally I've been defeated, but I'm happy about it because I finally met my match. You know, it's like even if I lose this, I don't care because it's like it's been a competition, and I haven't had a competition in like 10 years. Everyone I fight like just gives up. So it's fun. It's been fun for me. But either way, even I'm still gonna try to smash his teeth into the ground. What? All right, we got PSAs for you. We had to get into the actual show, don't we?
We do.
All right. So let me load up our intro music here, and we'll tell you what this show's about. Even though I haven't even gotten on my little exercise bike yet, which is the sad part. All right, there we go. Switching layouts, switching resolutions. All sorts of fun things are happening. Only possible on XSplit Thank you, XSplit. Freaking OBS can't handle that shit. Killer Bunny saying, doing the backpack from Double XP and Support Monkey Trinket. I could be. I don't know if I have my Support Monkey Trinket anymore. But I do have my skilling backpack. I haven't been using it.
What about that?
I was saving it for Double XP weekend. I don't know if that's a smart thing to do or not. If it's not a smart thing to do,
I'll probably take it out before the next Double XP weekend.
I figured that they were like just gonna give you like another opportunity for more charges, so you could spend more money. But
yeah, that is true.
All right, let me open up.
You can get off the old
TH
treasure hunter, so they'll leave it there for you.
Yeah, I thought for a second they were gonna leave cocktails in the game this year. They left them in a lot longer. I was like, are they gonna leave these in this time?
I always forget to use those.
Me too.
I always just take them out. I just can't be bothered.
I don't drink. Sorry. Just leave them in my bank. All right, for real though, I gotta load up the music if we want to do an actual show. So that means I have to find the music, which is in the Season 19 folder.
Speaking of music, I am placing my order today for the. I'm going to just get this. I want the albums, but they're just too expensive in Australia. It's like $60-something a piece. But I am going to order the CDs.
Oh, nice, good.
Yeah, they work out about. I think it's about $25 each.
That's not bad. I mean, yes, it is. That's like 1980s music prices, but
yeah,
whatever.
I know. But to support the game,
it is what it is. Sure, yeah, of course. You're supporting the artists. Okay, let's do this in 3. Actually, the music's probably... I'm going to open a VLC player. I don't trust it for as far as I can throw it. Yeah, its volume was on 80. Yeah, that would have been bad. Never trust...
that's right. You had the update, the Windows update the other day, so it resets everything.
Never trust a media player. Never. Okay. In 3, 2, 1... You're listening to RuneScape Weekly for October 12th, 2018. I'm your host, Magebit, with over 17 years of RuneScape experience. Joining me today is Pyrnassius, and on today's show, RuneFest MegaThread, RuneFest Reveals Q&A, Combat Council Q&A. Does RuneFest seem amateur? No moderation on Twitch chat is a mistake. Gore allegedly harassing multiple women at RuneFest. Don't download malware! Remove more dead content, and let's stop polarization. Thanks for tuning into this edition of RuneScape Weekly, and enjoy the show. Welcome to your Friday edition of RuneScape Weekly. I don't know why that confused me so much for a second there. Welcome. I'm Magebit. You wouldn't think I've been doing this for 9 years or something. How you doing? What's up, Pyrnassius? Welcome to another edition of RuneScape Weekly. How you doing?
I am doing not too bad, thank you. I was going to be just sitting down at the Halloween event doing rune crafting earlier today. DX got the pet at the summoning, and I thought that's great. I might just sit there and do rune crafting. I went down there because I did going into the rift. About an hour and a half ago. I've gone back down there and it sent me back into the rift again. I keep forgetting it's like a 12-hour reset, but it's not like every 12 hours after you do it. It's in the 12-hour sort of game day. So I have to wait another hour and a half before I can go back there again now.
Yeah, I actually forgot to go before the show started. I got so wrapped up in doing everything. I haven't done my daily rift thing. Or maybe I have. It says Warp Chamber available in 1 hour and 9 minutes. Maybe I have to wait. Maybe I'm a silly boy. That's okay. I think I did. No, I didn't do it at reset, though. Whatever. I'm a confused person. It's okay.
You did go to bed late. Maybe you didn't, just forgot.
Yeah, maybe I did. I went to bed. For me, I went to bed really late. I went to bed at like 10 o'clock last night, that is no man's land for Magebit. I generally go to bed at like 8 o'clock. So that's 2 hours past my bedtime. But I was really trying to get as much agility XP in there because Sorensen is like he's giving it some pepper. We are neck and neck though. Look at that. Neck and neck.
I know you put a scare into him. So
yeah. We're at
with your weekend, you'll overtake him over the weekend. Then come Monday, we'll see what happens on Monday.
We'll see, hopefully. Let's see. So he's at 14-4 and I'm at 13-0. So I mean it's neck and neck. He's averaging 1.3, and I'm averaging 1.1. It's doable. It's doable.
And I'm in a distant third. You can sort of see me, a little ant behind you.
Yeah, you got your own little It's like you see like two jetliners taking off for the stratosphere, and then Pyrnassius has got a nice little like
biplane.
Yeah, little biplane, just heading, yeah, enjoying cruising through the clouds. And then you got some people just having some hang glider action going on down there in the they're down there just hanging out. It's nice, just cruising along over the skyscrapers. So yeah, some people are just in it for the fun, I see, which is nice. I like it. Again, I hope the next skill is a skill I don't have a pet in, but we'll see.
Yeah, me too. I need fire making. Fire making would be a nice one, or wood cutting next for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I would love to see rune crafting. Rune crafting, herb lore.
Rune crafting, I'll be happy as well. Yeah.
Construction. Dungeoneering. What am I saying? Anyway,
yeah, so you popped the link into the Twitch chat there, and I encourage everyone sign up on there, and just get it. It starts on the 1st of every month, and just get in there. Sign up, get yourself an account on there. It's our sister show with RSB&B, and let's get the kill, skill, and chill people in there competing and take it over.
I'm all for it. Like, if we can, encourage some healthy competition in the skilling arena, I'm all for it. I love competitions. I've got it in my blood. Anyway, we have a lot of PSAs, actually. Some good, some not so good. Mostly good, though. First up...
some good, some, a little bit heartbreaking.
Yeah, for sure. So first up here is Mobilizing Armies removal has been confirmed at RuneFest, which is fantastic.
That's not the heartbreaking one.
Yeah, heartbreaking. Yeah, it's heartbreaking for maybe the person who put the hard work into developing it like 10 years ago. But for everyone else, this is awesome. This is finally an opportunity to put something else in that location, I think. Who knows what?
Master farming.
I agree. I think that is the perfect location to actually put in like a plantation, a player-owned plantation. We can that would be awesome. It's tropical. We could have a fully run you could take the idea of Miscellanea, but flesh that out and have every part of it actually controlled by the player instead of you just controlling one measly interface. Come on. Get me
awesome.
away from this XP.
Something like that.
Yes. And it's all farming XP. So good. All right. Next up, this is a personal self-flagellating PSA here. The RuneScape Weekly actually hit #1 in the RuneScape category on Twitch for the first time, I think, ever. And during RuneFest, I might add now. There's some caveats to that, but we're not going to mention them. Number one. That's
all we need to know about. We were #1.
We were #1 on RuneScape. That's all that matters. So if there's an award for that, please send it to us. We'll be graciously awaiting our trophy. So another thing, we're looking for what people want for the next NPC Origins series. For any of you who are not aware, Pyrnassius does the NPC Origins series. The latest one went up when it was announced that Moya would be the centerpiece of the Halloween event. We went right on dropping our plastic tubes, and Pyrnassius went and recorded that little Moya thing for us, and it was well received. People like it, and it's something he's done before, and he's keen on doing and wants to do more. And thank you very much. RA Echo 93 has just subscribed. Thank you so much, buddy. Really appreciate that. Welcome. So if you have any suggestions on an NPC you would like to see covered, please let us know. You can do so by adding me on Twitter, DMing me in game, however you'd like to get a hold of me. We mention our social media accounts at the end of every show and whatnot. We're easy to get a hold of, but there will be a straw poll for anyone who is a Patreon subscriber posted up on Patreon. So if you want to vote in that, you can be a patron of any level, and you'll be able to decide the next Origin NPC Origin series.
And just so everyone knows, if you're not a Patreon, you can send in the names.
Yes.
So we're just gathering the names off. That's open to everyone.
Correct.
Patreons will vote on the final, sort of the final contenders, but anyone is open to put a name in.
Correct. If you have a suggestion, throw it at us. We're more than likely to toss it on to the survey. It's just only the patrons will get to vote on the final, and whatever receives the most votes will end up getting the recording time, basically.
Yep. And unlike Jagex, where Abanar sort of comes second every time, your one, if it does come second, or there's still, in the future, I will, I'll still keep all those names together and endeavor to get sort of other ones out going forward. But the winner will get the next one.
Very nice, very nice. Another PSA we have here: Bossy-McBossFace will live on. £780 was the cost of the title that was purchased for the ED3 Boss. I guess the name, what was the cost of the name to purchase from the charity auction at RuneFest. So somebody purchased the name of an Elite Dungeon 3 boss, and it's going to be Bossy-McBossFace. So my immersion and also charity, yay! So group Ironman mode. Next up, PSA is indefinitely shelved according to mod Poerky. So that kind of sucks, I guess. For those of you who were looking forward to that, I wasn't me personally looking forward to that, so doesn't affect me, but maybe it affected you, and I'm sorry if it did. Again, we have one more PSA here. That is probably the hardest PSA that I've ever had to announce on the show, and I'm gonna do my best to not choke up on this, because I don't know if I've never really dealt with this topic before, like ever. I don't know if I've ever really dealt with this in my life before, to be honest with you. But not last podcast, not our podcast that we did for the runner-up to RuneFest, but the podcast before that, we had a wonderful gentleman on named Huey, who's been a long-time listener of the show, I believe between 6 and 8 years of the show, so long time listener of the show. Their whole family had been into RuneScape and whatnot. I think anyone who listened to that show will remember he caught the tail end of the show. Apparently he'd been wanting to be on the show for a long time, and had just now, recently, asked to be on the show and whatnot. And I was, I'm always open to people coming on the show. That's never, as you know, we've had many eclectic characters on the show throughout the years. If you'll harken back to RuneScape Weekly over the years, we don't generally shy away from having RuneScape players on the show. So, it's pretty easy to get on the show. So, we had him on the show, and it was a good time. And he caught the tail end of the show because he had school that day and whatnot. And we had plans to have him on the show again, and we were talking about, because he had school and whatnot, I was saying, hey, I really want to bring back Elite shows, because as you see, I've been doing a lot more content and whatnot. I was hoping to bring back Elite content and whatnot, spoilers. But I have better ideas. The only reason I'm saying that now is because Elite content is actually probably not the best way to go about it, and I have actually better ideas to get content out to people in a premium fashion, so, more spoilers, I guess. But let's actually stay on point here. So anyway, point being was, I liked the kid a lot, and I wanted to do more stuff with him, and I'm rambling now because I miss him a lot, and this is really hard for me to get to, and I'm just trying to kind of stay away from, I think, the main topic here, and the fact that he's gone, he's not with us anymore. That was his last show. He'll never be on another show because, he has passed away from this earth. He took his life, unfortunately, and that is what it is, and it's hard to say that, and I hate to bring the mood of the show down for a moment here, but it's a serious topic that needs to be brought to light. He was on the show. He's a RuneScape player. He's a member of our community. He's been a member of our community for over a decade, and now he's gone. He doesn't deserve to just disappear. So, in his memory, I think it's appropriate to, at the very least, mention the fact that it's happened. And, I opened a charity via justgiving.com. Anyone who's interested can go to justgiving.com/fundraising/ patreon.com/Magebit. There will be a link in the show notes. There's a link in Twitch chat right now as well. You can give $1. You can give any amount you want. It goes directly to NAMI, which is it's a North American mental health association. It helps people with mental illnesses. It offers day programs and other emergency help. It's helped me in the past. It's helped people I know in the past. It's a great organization. They are all across the United States and North America. You're more than welcome to donate to them via my Just Giving campaign or via directly through their website or any mental health campaign. You don't have to donate through my campaign at all. I urge you to give to any mental health charity, locally even. I just urge you to support your mental health in any support, in any capacity, in any way, shape, or form that you can. And just remember that supporting mental health, even in your own body, is important. And that's all. Let's continue on into RuneScape Weekly. Pyrnassius, can you hop into our first topic here?
I will take over the first topic. And, our thoughts, I'm sure the entire community's thoughts do go out to Huey's family as well. He was a great guy. He was fun to chat to, and never suspected anything like that when you were talking.
That's the thing,
him.
Is with mental illness, is like, you never know until it's too late.
That's it. But anyway, thoughts with Huey, and rest in peace, mate. And and as I said, thoughts do go out to the family who are left behind in something like that. But anyway, let's move on after that, and we'll get into the RuneFest MegaThread, the Too Long Didn't Watch 403, put up by Sudi on Reddit. Basically playable at RuneFest. If anyone who was attending there, they had the mining and smithing rework demo going. Latest builds of RuneScape and old school RuneScape Mobile. They actually raised 305,470 pounds were raised for charity awareness events. Another 105,000 was raised for special effect during Game Blast, and over the past 5 years they've actually raised 911,977 pounds. So their charity work has been excellent, and really great there from Jagex.
And again, Jagex is a fantastic charity raiser, and most of the money they raise is for mental health, I want to point out.
Yep. And to support, sort of disadvantaged gamers as well. So bringing that to them. So whenever you can, support those charities that don't get a lot of love off the governments as well. Moving on to the announced release schedule. October is Till Death Do Us Part. That was actually released on the 8th. That's the Halloween event we already have in game. There is a Plague Doctor task card coming. Nick the Trader will be coming into game. Is that Nick or Vic?
Nah, Nick is his cousin that they're running way more often than Vic. He offers kind of more alternative things than Vic. It's not as powerful as Vic. It offers like aura refreshes, life, sign of life refreshes, stuff like that.
Yeah, sorry, he was the one in Falador or something.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. Yep. I remember that one. We are going to have Customer Support Week coming again, so remember that, and also Game Jam on the 18th.
Can't wait for Game Jam. One of my favorite events of the year.
Yep, that will be next weekend, so we'll probably cover that in full. In November, they will be opening the mining and smithing open beta, so get in there and test that out. They're also probably the one we're looking forward to the most, the Achievement Bonanza, where we're going to be getting more than 100 new achievements into game to boost those rune scores. December, the Violet is Blue Christmas quest is coming out. Winter weekends, of course, are going to return, and also the return of the Advent calendar. The January release that they have announced is the Mining and Smithing update. So it will be the first release of 2019. So get in there. If there's any problems in the November beta, let them know. And basically, when they get back from their break, they'll release it into the game fully. And of course, in February, the Elite Dungeons 3 will be coming along. That has obviously been delayed.
Birthday present.
that was going to be sort of one that was coming out this year, but they have pushed it back. And obviously, we know one of the bosses in there is going to be Bossy-McBossFace.
Yes.
Now, now they are the guaranteed release schedules. Now, also in that time between October and February, with no actual release dates, is the removal of mobilizing armies that we mentioned in the PSAs. The alchemical onyx items, there will be 3 of those coming into the game, 2 skilling ones and 1 for PVM, and also the Needle Skips quest, which will be an Elder Gods quest.
I'm calling it. Needle Skips isn't coming out until March.
Don't. That's got to come out this year. I need it. I mean, I've only had 2 quests this year. We've got to. I mean, 4 I can accept. Anything more? No way. The panel room coming soon when YouTube videos are uploaded. You will see creator content Q&A, the Ninja Team Q&A, and a Combat Council Q&A. Now, I think the Combat Council has already been released, so we will be discussing that shortly. Also, we want to give out shouts to the Golden Gnome winners.
Heck yeah.
Best new RS video maker was Ravlar. Best RS video maker is Mikaru. Best RS video of the year is Will Miss It. Best new RS streamer, Wazzy Run. Our favourite of all, best RS streamer overall, the RS guy. Well done to Ryan there.
Still got to contact him.
Congrats. Yes.
Congratulate him.
Yep. Best new OS RS video maker is Didabida. Best OS RS video maker, Torvesta. Best OS RS video of the year, Tanzu RS and Virtuoso. Best new OSRS streamer was Perp. Best OSRS streamer, MMORPGRS. Best artistic creation was Vicky Licht. And that sword was awesome.
Yeah,
really
that was pretty
love
sick.
That god sword that she made.
I'm surprised they let her bring that in. That was real steel.
I know. She has to live. There's no way she would have got on a plane with that.
I know. That's crazy.
Best artist, Zuha. Best cosplay was Golden Light as Guthan. Most creative cosplay was Lecky. And the community champion was Tracy Weiss.
Because there's a question mark, like who?
Yeah. I think he's just wondering.
Yeah, like how do you spell it? Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. And that was basically, obviously, on the main stage, we had the Quest and Lore and also the Winter Reveals. Quest and Lore has basically been covered in what the release schedules are anyway, so I don't think we need to really go into that again. If anyone is interested, just go back on Video On Demand and you can watch Magebit's stream from there last week.
Did I remember to upload it to? Did I remember to upload it to YouTube? I don't even remember.
I should... yeah, and look, keep your eye out on YouTube as well. But it is Video On Demand on Twitch at the moment, anyway.
Yeah, it's there for at least 60 days. Yeah. I will definitely check and make sure I've uploaded it.
And get it out on YouTube. Yep.
Yeah, I maybe didn't because I was like, a lot happened.
Yeah, well, it was a big week.
Yeah, a lot went down.
Yeah. But it was a good RuneFest. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot announced, and but still, I do feel sorry for Jagex. I mean, they are, as we said, they're damned if they do, damned if they don't. When they give out too much information and stuff doesn't come out, people scream at them and carry on and say, why do you tell us about things if they're not coming out? And then when they say, okay, this is the guaranteed stuff we've got coming out, well, why aren't you telling us about anything else? Because, it's still in works and it may not actually see the light of day. So
exactly. Well, and they even said that. They're like, that's a big problem is all these things not seeing the light of day.
Yeah.
And people can't handle that. Like, I understand them not wanting to do that.
Exactly. I prefer them to do it this way. Yes, it makes it a little bit harder for us where we want to discuss content, but it's also at least
the right thing to do.
Guaranteed.
It's the right thing to do because
be disappointed.
I am still harping over the Church of You from like RuneFest number 4.
And I was happy that didn't come out, but anyway.
And
and also, actually, one other announcement that we did forget in the PSAs. We discussed it on the streams, but we actually haven't done it in one of the podcasts, and that is congratulations, Mod Osborne, the father of a new little baby girl, was it? I think they said. Baby girl?
I don't remember. Sorry.
Thought he had the baby girl, but yeah. Anyway, Mod Osborne didn't attend RuneFest. His wife was having a baby, so he was there with her, supporting her. So there you go. Congratulations.
Yeah, big congratulations. That's
Mod
awesome.
Osborne.
That is
Mod
super
Dad,
awesome.
he should be called now.
Yeah, he is a super dad.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, Killer
So
Bunny.
yeah, so that was.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Yep.
I was just saying.
Say that was basically it for that. So.
Yeah, that was a short mega thread for
know.
using the word mega. Not very long.
Mainly because it's got all the links for the main stage stuff.
Yeah, that's true. So we can move along then to RuneFest Reveals Q&A, I assume here, which starts off by talking about Elite Dungeons 3 design is starting very soon. Group Ironman, of course, as we announced, was shelved. They did a lot of investigation work, technically and design-wise. It's such a huge project that it's officially shelved, which I can imagine. Just think of the work involved in the bank.
Sharing banks.
Yes.
Yeah.
They can't even give us the bank rework, and you want them to combine a cluster of players' banks together that is private and shared between just those players? Are you kidding me? Okay. Shell does not mean scrapped. Yes, it does. It just means we are not working on it in any capacity right now. Yeah, it just means that we're probably not going to see it until that A, the bank rework is done, and B, we're running on completely not Java at all, right? Like, it's got to be completely NXT-based technology. There are no plans, but there are no plans, but we know you want more bank space. Yeah.
Actually, yeah. I mean, more banks, especially with the farming update and such. For just let us have a little separate farming bank that's with Granny.
We know,
Pern. Spots or something.
We know. It's a technical issue. It's the fact that it's basically like we have to give everyone their own Amazon S3 server every time. Can Timbo reveal more drop rates? Modsova released Elite Dungeon 2 drop rates. Go look at that. What is that? That's like it's like, here, go play with your jacks, you freaking. In the meantime,
just enjoy the game, people.
Yeah. You were given these. Go play with. It's like, can I have this new Nintendo? No, go play with your Sega. Mobilizing armies. Undecided what will happen to mobilizing armies reward credits. One or both of these will happen. Leave the vendor in so you can spend your credits and then can remove all the credits in the future. Invest credits will probably be converted back into coins, but at a harsh rate, so you cannot just invest now to take more money from the convert. Not converted to Thaler for some rate reason that it can be bought. Yeah, having them convert to Thaler would definitely be abusive, I think.
Yes, definitely.
I'm not sure how to handle that. Honestly, if you've been stockpiling points from mobilizing armies, I'm not really sure you've been playing the game correctly. Titles will be drops. Okay, that's fine. Quest kits will be removed. For those that have them, they'll be discontinued items. Interesting. Locators. I might want to get one just till now, you know.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm saying, oh, discontinue. I don't like one of those.
Let's go play some mobilizing armies and torture ourselves.
We have to switch back to Java, though.
I don't mind. I'll download the curse just to get some discontinued items. You say the word discontinued items and my head turns, okay?
Yeah, that's it.
Locate.
I'm not going to have it in 5 years. Then we'll go, where'd you get that from?
Right? Locators will be craftable with divination. We're improving the interface and including more resources like crystal and elder trees. That should be useful. Imbued rings. I don't actually know where we'll put it, is the quote.
Yeah. Which is fair.
I know. It's like, come on, you're on stage at RuneFest, not in a brainstorm meeting. With the removal of mobilizing armies, we're looking at high level rings that will be imbuable, including the HSR. Wherever imbuing ends up is where you can imbue these rings. Stats will be included, so that's cool.
Now, that was one thing that always annoyed me, having to go down and get the imbued ring down there, which is pointless because there's so many rings that are better than it now. 10 years ago it was the best in slot ring and you wanted to do it. Now it's annoying because you only do it to get your trim cape. So yeah,
and it would be nice to have the ability to, like, that sounds like something you just toss on a Magic. Magic has the ability to enchant, but this is imbuement. Like, put it on invention, right? Come on. I don't know. Let's see here. Trim requirement will be removed. The area will probably be removed for something else. Don't know what yet. Give Timbo Ninja Team suggestions. Farm! Unsure what to do with the Spirit Tree, Ring of Dueling Teleport, and Standard Spellbook. Again, I think give it to the skillers. They deserve it.
Well, again, as you said, if you have a Spirit Tree and a sort of a farm and such down there, it'll make sense to use the area. You'll still want that teleport there to get to that area if they put something good there.
That's what I'm saying, is if you put the farm there.
Extended farm.
Exactly. You put the extended farm there and people are going to want it, right? They're going to want to go there. So that's what I'm saying. I got ideas. I got good ideas.
Well, send them to Timbo.
Send them.
Put together a design doc and send it to Timbo.
That just sounds like work now. You know, you're starting to make it sound like, oh god, that is not the offer I wanted to put in. Can you read for a second? All my bonds just sold.
Oh no.
So I just got to restock them.
We will increase the capacity of the mobile beta once we're happy with the ability and the current issues with it. There is no official, hey, we're going to extend this cap by this much. The beta is now continuous. This isn't a 2-week beta. Mobile updates and fixes will be alongside game updates on Mondays. We're looking for, in the new year, for iOS beta. Fixing Android issues can be ported over to iOS. So, again, we're probably sort of 3 months away for me to being able to play, since they wouldn't let my Android use it.
I think for your device. Did they even give a quote on when your device might work? I don't know if your device will ever work.
I don't care if that one ever works. I only want it for the beta. I mean, they're going to bring out
for iOS. iOS will probably iOS beta is probably like February. I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I've got about 4 iPads in the house. So, regarding the accusations that mobile is taking away members from the team, we haven't stolen anyone. There's been 3 developers ever since we started this, and we have only had one rotation out where Mod Hunter moved away back into Ninjas, and we had Mod Edge to join us. Other than that, that is literally it. So they've always had 3 people there working on Mode, and that's probably why it has taken so long. If you've only got 3 people working on it, trying to get something of that size out, and all the fixes and such, that is probably it. The size of Jagex's team is getting larger each year. I call crap on that, because we saw 319 people in 2000.
Those were last year's number, though.
16 and 307 last year. So, yeah, I know. I'm just being a dick.
Okay.
We'll have more people next year than we did this year, and this year we had more people than we did last year, but not more people than the year before. Settings.
It's starting to sound like a math riddle. We had more people than last year, but less than the year before, but we'll have more than the year. Like, come on. How many will we have now?
How many extra people have we got?
Yeah.
Settings rework was something we always wanted to do, and mobile was the perfect time to do it. And there was a time when Mod Ashes broke the desktop chat. He is sorry. So... that is it. And yeah, I mean, the mobile's out there. Now, I want to take a little bit of a break here, because Mage, his phone does work with the mobile update. So I'd like to just give everyone a little bit of feedback on your thoughts on it.
So I've had the opportunity to play the mobile beta on my phone for about an hour at a time, and I've charged it up to 100% just to see how the battery would drain on it. I have an LG V30, which was LG's flagship phone for 2017 in the United States, North America. It ran about $800 on T-Mobile. Its specs are 4 gigabytes of RAM, running at, I believe it has a, I can look up the specs, but I believe it has like a 2 gigahertz Snapdragon processor. Anyway, point being, it runs fine. It runs ultra graphics, fine at full frame rate, no problem. Only issues are touchscreen accuracy. the touchscreen accuracy is pretty bad. My only issues are operating the ribbon. I cannot operate the ribbon for the life of me. Fine touch movement is almost impossible. Trying to operate my backpack or anything like that, no go. If I want to drop something out of my inventory, If I want to click on anything that isn't movement, it's not going to happen. Operating in the agility course, no problem. Clicking around the game world, no worries. Opening, like, talking to an NPC, clicking on a monster, no problem. Actually, works no problem at all. Like, it's actually a pretty fluid experience. And for just kind of hanging around, doing the agility course, or AFKing fishing, or AFKing an agility bike like this, or something like that, totally a workable experience. If I was trying to, like, do crafting or something like that, where I had to operate multiple interfaces, or if I was trying to do bossing or something like that, it would not be tenable on my device at the moment. There needs to be some calibration done, or I would need a very, very fine point stylus. But I think it's just a hardware calibration issue that needs to be worked out for my hardware, and that's probably the only problem. But yeah, it's.
But you were saying, if you use the stylus, you reckon the stylus would work well on that?
I think like a 0.05 stylus would probably solve the issue, but I think it's just a matter of Jagex collecting data from my device, because I think this is a US only device, so they've probably just never seen it.
Yep.
By my experience, though, despite the fact that they've probably just never seen this hardware, and yet how well it runs, despite that, I would say that they are probably going to be able to have an open beta for all Android devices in the next 30 to 60 days. Just by touching and playing around with it, it feels almost done. Shall I read good. Death Do Us Part?
Yeah, you can take that one on if you like.
Cool. Let's see. Till death do us part. We are above our predicted engagement by 50%. Over 100,000 rifts have been stabilized, thanks to Pet Chance. I added that last part. For every negative... Go ahead.
No, I do want to say that is... They have finally listened, and that is the perfect way to get your high-level players doing it. I didn't realize... I mean, I went there on Monday, did it, and I hadn't touched it again until you told me that you can get a Pet Chance. And, once I knew that, I'm going to be there every day doing it now. I'm going to use my charges down there because I know I've got that chance of a pet.
Totally.
Yep.
That completely changed my prerogative.
Yep.
Second I knew, I was like, oh, runecrafting pet? That's the only pet I don't have, so thank goodness. But, yeah, Pet Chance for runecrafting? Heck yeah. I mean, it takes my incentive out of getting the pet from runecrafting, but whatever. I don't care. However I get the pet, I get the pet. For every negative comment we've seen, there's a positive one to match it. Hotfixes from yesterday. Shard has a tutorial when it is first interacted with on the event. Zombies around the Necromancer now give Slayer XP. Interesting. Can't deal damage to the zombies around the pillars to make it obvious that that's not the right thing to do. See,
yeah, because the first time I was hitting them,
me too.
And they're getting damaged but not dying, and then realized you only get the XP when you're siphoning their souls from the rift.
Other than a few environmental hiccups and the sign of the misplaced bracket, the Q&A has gone really well. We made it per 4 hours because the event, such as the beach, players can grind it indefinitely, and they've taken away they've taken it away from the rest of RS for a month. I've done 1 to 70 constructions of the beach and don't actually know how to do construction is something we want to avoid. Yeah. Like, that reminds me, remember Shadow basically did that with construction.
Yes. Yeah, to what you got it to 96.
You got it to 90, yeah, like 96 basically, or 98 or something.
Went from 40 to 96 or something like that. I was sitting there, and that was on an Ironman, which was disgusting. Yeah.
By following the meta, you can hit 600,000 XP an hour. Another reason we choose to give it to players in short bursts. Can someone tell me the meta, please? Because I'm only getting like 150k an hour.
600k an hour, but you can only do it for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, but I'm only getting like 150k an hour for 10 minutes. Like, what am I doing wrong? And I've got bonus XP. Anyway, well, players While players can see the community progress rewards, we haven't revealed the personal progress rewards. There are some returning good items as well as new good items. A scaling event, I wouldn't say it gets more difficult. Definitely mixes up a little, though, so you aren't doing the same thing throughout the entire event. Strange golden rocks and scaling pets are obtainable. Charging the shard is useful. People have been complaining they can't do anything for hours. You can charge your shard between rifts.
Exactly. I love that idea that you have a shard that you've... And if you don't go and recharge it and you're sitting there and just use all your charges and then go, oh, hang on, I can't do anymore, you've got to sit there and then go and spend 40 hours recharging it. I love the way they have done this just to stop people from camping there sort of non-stop.
It was a good idea.
Yep.
Winter.
Really well done.
What's happening in the winter? As we know, us revealing things at RuneFest is a bit of a meme at this point. We reveal huge ideas that are in very early concept stages. They never make it through our process. We never get through to developing them, and they sort of fall to the wayside because as we announce them, but we didn't like them, or the players didn't react to them very well, such as Valley of Death, Church of You. This time, we wanted to reveal things that we absolutely 100% work on, and we realized before a certain date. As Mark said, everything we talked about in Winter Reveals is coming before the end of February next year. That's quoting Mod Timbo. It's to build faith back as well. We understand where you're coming from. We want to talk about this stuff now, and then early next year, we'll talk to you about what's coming out for the rest of the year. Then there will be more revealed in the year ahead, but we will want to make sure we're not over-promising again. We'll be very much grounded, and we'll begin with what is coming in the first several months. Bank rework, now, yes, go ahead.
Do you think, rather than just doing a whole year ahead, they say, coming this quarter?
I hope so. I was thinking the exact same thing.
Yeah, up to, between now and summer is this, and then, stay tuned for the summer releases, and then when we hit summer, then they go into what's coming out. I would love to just have a 3-month schedule each time if they're just telling us what's coming out, in the next 3 months.
That would make way more sense, like a quarterly, here's what's coming this quarter.
Yep. I mean, I know a lot of people were disappointed at RuneFest for not getting too much information, but I loved everything that... I loved how they did it, because I know each of these things is guaranteed. I know pretty much when I'm going to get it.
Yeah.
So, I don't have any issue with what they did.
Bank rework and loyalty rework points were not spoken about because the reveals for those things are definitely coming out before February. Mind those words right there. The previous... yes? Did you...
I do want to say reveals for these things are coming out before February. Not that the actual bank rework and loyalty point rework will be here before February. Good. Only the reveals.
Good words. Good points. The previous status of the bank rework has not changed. We are currently investigating work on placeholders dependent upon mobile milestones, since they have all of our engine and platform devs. The loyalty point rework is still in an early design, and we are not 100% on its design. Just because it wasn't spoken about at RuneFest doesn't mean it isn't being worked on. It's just something we aren't 100% confident in getting out and ready before February. We are going to release a dev vlog with the full design in the coming weeks, with, if any change on new ones are added, loyalty point costs for each item in Aura. So there you go. That's interesting. They are planning on, adding loyalty point costs and changes to auras and whatnot. Dev vlogs take longer than players think, because, there's lots of different people that have to be cleared and talked to about these things. But they are planning on changing the costs, so that's something that needs to be taken into consideration. But the thing about that is, I just spent like 100 or 200 and something thousand on legendary tracker. I better get points back. That's all I'm saying.
But you've had use of it for that much longer than everyone else. So that's. I'd love to. Hey, trust me, with all the ones I've bought as well, I'd love to get points back. But I also look at it. Well, I've had it for 6 months ahead of everyone else too. So
we are definitely working on more than just the revealed projects. Rather, we just weren't certain if they'd 100% be released before February, which is fair. If you're not sure that they're going to be released before February, don't talk about them yet.
Yep. And 100% back them up on what they've done here. And as I said, I know a lot of people complain, but they have really done it the right way. As I said, it's become a bit of a meme. The different things that they release and then don't come out. It's half an hour too, by the way. I forgot to tell you earlier.
Oh, cool.
A half hour later. But yeah, there's some really great things coming out. Yeah, in the next few months. And yeah, I do love what they're doing. What I did find funny, though, up in where they were talking about the mobile regarding the accusation that mobile's take away members from the teams, we haven't stolen anyone. There's been 3 developers ever since we started. Then down here in the Winter Reveals, they say the previous status of the bank rework has not changed. We're currently investigating work on placeholders dependent on mobile milestones since they have all of our engine and platform devs.
That sounded almost like a little facetious.
Yes. Yeah. We haven't stolen anyone, but we've taken all of the engine and platform devs for it. But we've only got 3 people, really.
Yeah, no work is being affected, but we have everybody that is needed to do any serious work.
Yes. But anyway, that's really good, and as I said, we are being a little tongue in cheek, tongue in cheek. Yeah, maybe it is the 3 people that they've got doing it are just concentrating on that and things like that.
Yeah,
but just get me placeholders. I'll be happy if I get that, and you can work on the rest in 3 years' time if you want.
I'll wrap up here with the game jam, and then you can take up the next document here.
Oh, you don't want to talk about who the teams are?
Are you? Does it matter?
Well, just sort of also says what they've worked on, so we know what's going to be good and what's going to be bad by which devs have worked on them.
Oh boy. All right. Well, if you insist, Black Ops. Again, I don't know what the team's names versus what teams they're on really matters, but Black Ops is Ramen, a Raider, Daze, and Cell, and they've made Till Death Do Us Part, which is already in the game. Violet is Blue, the Christmas content and game jam projects. Judgers is Orion, Sova, Raven, and Hutch, sorry. Achievements, Needle Skips, I can never say that right. Alchemical Onyx, and Elite Dungeons 3.
That sounds like the best.
Valkyrie.
And it's got Raven on it, so
yeah. Any team Raven's on is going to be the best team. Valkyrie is team Mohawk, Jam, Long, and Kyler. They do the SGS and live events. The Ninja team is Harrison, Mela, or My Life, not sure how to say that. Kaosi, Labcoat, and Hunter. They do ninja fixes, mobilizing armies removal, Premier Club exclusive content. There's the Four Directions team, and they are Jax, Stu, Tomb, Shogun, and Doctor. Then they do mining and smithing. I could have told you that before I even got to the projects. The Fate team is Timbo, Rally, Ryan, and Iago, and they are doing a secret double XL project, which as soon as I heard that, I immediately was like, what's that?
I thought, construction rework?
But yeah, no, I was like, what could that be?
Yeah, I like the sound of that one.
Me too.
One thing that they didn't announce, which I thought we might have heard about, was this new MMO that they were going to release. I thought they might have given us
me too.
something about that.
Me too.
Didn't hear anything. Yeah.
On to Game Jam here. Begins on October 18th. This time we're doing it a little differently. We're going to have a design jam and a development jam. Content showcase on 23rd of October to conclude. Themes include reducing dailyscape, increasing combat diversity, tidying up areas of the game. Unlike previous game jams where or updates linger, combat diversity, tidying up. I don't know how I skipped back up there. I'm sorry. Unlike previous game jams where updates linger and get backlogged, like Alchemical Onyx updates did, we have January and February release slots for game jam projects.
Excellent.
So Timbo and Deg are. I didn't even know Deg was still here. I thought Deg went to another game. I thought he was over on the secret MMO. Are working on a small quest, a sequel to everyone's favorite multiplayer quest. Shawnee will like to finish phased boss practice mode.
Yes.
Ramen wants to work on introduce players on how to properly use abilities like Assassin's Creed Pit's tutorial teaches you how to do combat. Interesting.
I don't. Yeah, maybe that's okay.
It might be a new skill. That's interesting. Double XL project could be a new skill.
Maybe. I would. Cool. Yeah, I'd love to see.
It could also be. Yeah, it could also be pet battler system. We saw pictures.
We were talking about it in the pre-show, though. When they're talking about sort of reworks and things like that, the combat diversity, getting strength away from a combat skill into a support skill, where it can support you in sort of as well as the 3 combat in the combat triangle, but it can also support fishing, agility, mining, that type of stuff. Yeah. I'd love to see them try and look at something like that in the future too.
That would be, yeah, I would love to see that. That would be a really cool idea. Again, you were saying get a design document up. My eyes started glazing over and tuning out. That's what really needs to happen, though, if we're really that's gonna ever happen, unfortunately. That concerns me. I hope I didn't lose today's pre-show because XSplit sucks. Ugh, that would be a pain in the ass.
Well, you look at that, I'll go on to the next one if you like. Actually, I just rolled down said before about the accusations of mobile taking members away. Top comment there is exactly what I said too. So that's actually quite funny. Actually, no, and Poerky has coming in. For clarification, there is a whole group of engine/design platform devs that is not listed. They are on top of the devs being listed above. So they have their own engine and platform devs working on it.
Ah, okay.
So it's their own ones, not the game ones. So there you go.
I can probably fix the pre-show. It's like a 300 megabyte file, but it says it's 3 minutes long. But like the data's there, it just needs to be fixed. Okay. So that's a project. I'll fix it later. Sorry, pre-show, our Patreon subscribers and pledgers, and I'll work on that once we're not live. Anyway, sorry to interrupt. I like
to. Okay.
Go ahead.
Yep. No, you go.
No, I was just rambling. It's time for the next topic, I believe.
Yes. I say, did you want me to read this one?
Yeah, your turn. Let my voice take a rest.
Yeah. This is the TLDW 407 from the Combat Council Q&A at RuneFest. And I'm Rubik says, I did my best at narrowing down the players' questions and JMod responses. However, I'm not perfect and some of the intended meaning may have been lost or misunderstood. So anyway, bosses. The question is Solak as popular as desired? They say yes, even though it doesn't look like a lot of people are playing it. Players needed a real endgame boss to throw themselves at. Is there going to be a solo Solak mode? We do another solo boss first, but if people still wanted a solo Solak, then we will allow it. A 4-man Rots loot for 1 to 3 man. We could look into it, but we'd like to know what other bosses you'd like to have this applied to. Currently, a Virago/Solak are somewhat like that, but implementing for other bosses would be a balancing concern. On to a boss design. An Orion experiment, which is more difficult regarding a boss fight difficulty. Squeezing the most damage out of your character is less difficult, and the most difficult is group coordination and role assignment. The conclusion is that they can make really cool fights with higher groups, but it appears you want slightly smaller numbers.
I would have raised my hand for both.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, everyone knows my feel. I don't like group bossing. I only like solo bosses. So if they were asking me, it'd be, yeah, don't do groups. But, you know, you've got to have content out there for everyone.
I'm glad about the first question here, though. Like,
yes,
the way they asked it during the question, I honestly thought they were going to be like, that's a really rude way to say that, but... Because he was like, can you guys stop using time locks? And when they handed them the microphone, I was like, I thought he was going to, can you stop talking to me like that, you little prick?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I would have.
Yeah,
it's the way they get spoken to by some people.
Seriously,
but their answer was yes, we can stop. You will find out in ED3 why there was a time lock in ED2, but it's still unacceptable that there's no explanation for it.
Yeah, I mean,
go ahead. No, go.
No, I was like, okay, sure. There's no. It's unacceptable that there was no explanation for it, but. Why was it there, I guess? Like,
yeah,
that's not an answer. That's a non-answer. That's just saying that there was no explanation for it and acknowledging that there was no explanation for it.
What was the time lock in ED2, though?
Well, that's the problem. Is I didn't do ED2, so you're gonna have to.
I've done ED2,
you'll have to excuse me.
I don't know of a time lock in that one.
I don't know. Something preventing you from moving on to the next phase of a boss? I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah.
Well, that's what a time lock would be. I haven't done it, so I don't know what would stop you from moving on to the next part of a dungeon or phase. Is there like something, a physical block or an animation or I don't know, because what really bothers me about Stomp, like this is what infuriates me about Stomp, is his unnecessary invulnerability phase, where he just sits there invulnerable, and you got to sit there with your thumb up your ass for like 30 seconds for no reason, and it's just artificial time locking bullshit, and I hate that because there's no reason for it. Like, you're wasting my time, and I could be doing other things in the dungeon.
You have to get the crystals to...
But it's already in my inventory. Like, it's like the crystals are on the portal. Like, they're sitting on the plinth right there. They're just there. He's there waiting. I'm waiting. Just take the damage. Just take the damage. Just take the damage. They're there. Just take the fucking damage. I'm waiting for you to take the damage. You're waiting to take the damage. Just take the damage.
Killer Bunny's just told us in the ED2 it's the third boss. After you get from the hands and then deal damage to the boss, there's a long thing of him jumping around. So and that, yes, I do remember that part now. Gotcha. When you mention that. Anyway, design a boss focused around melee instead of magic and range, and this is one we've spoken about many times, especially with the mining and smithing update, and to get some value out of that armor. They have asked about that. So their answer is melee is the bane of the combat designer, since magic and range can do exactly the same thing as melee, but from further away. We can address this by playing to the few strengths that melee has, but it's hard to do when people can bring weapon switches. This is also a similar issue with tank armor if it was scaled with defenses, as there'd essentially be a 4 style. ED3 will contain a boss that addresses this concern. Now, I mean, a very simple fix that we have both said is just bring back weaknesses to bosses. Have a boss that is weak to melee, but he has 75% defense increase against melee and magic, and that'll quickly
that old corporeal beast style.
Exactly right. Yeah, if you do something like that, it's a higher end boss that your T92s aren't just going to rip through. You'll be fine.
Yeah, I don't see why they're so against doing something like that. That seems very simplistic.
They used to do bosses like that. They used to have weaknesses, and then all of a sudden they moved away from it and made melee the ugly red-headed stepchild.
Interesting.
But anyway, how hard can bosses get? Are you making hard bosses? Telos 2K Enrage is a good example of how we can make bosses difficult. However, it comes down to mechanic design now. As far as difficulty, we probably won't push it above Telos 1K or Solak, except in rage mechanics, unless there is a higher tier of gear introduced. So it's good to know that they're not going to make anything higher other than enraged on those. So I can, I'm still having trouble getting Telos 100% enraged. So
it's almost time for me to start Rax. I'm almost ready.
Yeah.
Now that I know you're moving on to Telos, that means I'm almost ready for Rax. If you're moving on to Telos,
I've got to go do some Rax. I've got that as my new death task. I haven't been to Rax in months. Future mid-tier content similar to God Wars Dungeon 2. There's always room to introduce mid-tier content similar to God Wars Dungeon 2. Okay, there's always room, but are you going to do it?
I think they will, especially with mobile. Like, there's going to be a flood of mid-tier players come in. I think.
Yes, I hope so. I really do hope that they look at that, because that's my. Even though I'm sort of end game in stats, I'm mid-tier in capabilities.
Sure. Excuse me.
Top end of PVM has been filled up and is finished for now, so now would be time to introduce... Oh, there it is. So
I love it. I love hearing that.
Yes. Now would be the time to introduce more content around the level of God Wars Dungeon 2, gateways to higher level content. And that is what God Wars Dungeon 2 is good for. Yeah, it really teaches you how to start using all your abilities and such. So really do love that. And future mid-level Tribad boss. If we did it would be likely be a group boss, since forcing players to bring all 3 styles is a huge ask. However, ED1 is the closest we've managed to get to bringing all 3 together. Yet ED1, you just go in and mage it all. I don't understand. Mage is the best thing to run through that with.
Good to know. Writing that down.
Equipment. Reaper Cape in relation to the Comp Cape. We want to look at it within the next year and communicate it with the players. Currently, Elite Dungeon Story Made allows players to easily kill bosses, but it doesn't tick off Reaper. This could be a way to address the issue. As for the Comp Cape, its current status is up to Timbo. So everyone, tweet Timbo. Fix this fix the Comp Cape. T92 melee armor, M&S reworks versus ED3. We will be working closely with the mining and smithing team to make sure the armors are balanced across all 3 styles. In addition, we are considering adding perks to all T92 armors to make them more worthwhile, as we agree with the players' concerns surrounding them. Thank you very much, Combat Council.
Which players' concerns, though?
The skilling players had the concern on it.
I don't know. Both sides had concerns, though. I'm worried.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I hope it's the skillers' concerns they're siding with.
But yeah, adding perks to the armor will be awesome. That means like a set bonus perhaps is the perks they're looking at there. I would hope and really make it worthwhile. And moving on to weapons diversity, we want to make a real foundation for it during Game Jam and go on from there. So, that sounds really good as well. We need to bring that diversity back into into the weapons.
Agreed. I love weapon diversity.
Yep. Moving on to balancing. Implementing 2-item equipment macros, weapon and shield. We've discussed this recently and may implement this, but there's a lot of grey areas and work behind the scenes to approach this correctly. Again, great to see them actually looking at it, though. And I know Hannah's been a big proponent of this for a long time. Yeah. Yourself as well. Yeah.
She's the first one, I think, to bring it up. And I think it was originally on Elite shows, and it bled over into the normal shows fairly quickly because I was open to it very quickly.
Yeah. Future plans to address the 4-tick auto attack topic. We probably won't make any more changes to 4-tick auto attack. Also, it will not be applied to melee and range in the same manner, as they can contain different niches, so there's more options similar to OSRS combat system. Well, if you are not going to bring it to melee and range, you need to remove it from Magic, pure and simple.
Right? Is it not?
Yeah.
Like, they turned it off, didn't they?
No. They turned off the one that was the constant
continuous 4-tick. Okay,
continuous,
that's right.
Sorry, continuous, but they left normal 4-tick in there.
That's
so
right.
if they're not going to bring it to the others, they need to take it off Magic altogether, because it's just not...
It's not fair for the other styles.
Exactly. Any chance melee being split into 2 skill solutions? We all agree it's stupid, but it's also accepted it may be too late to fix it, even if we really want to fix it. Disagree there again.
It's never too late. You put EOC in the game, it's never too late.
Yep. That's right. You just change strength to, as we said, a support skill, and have it affect all 3 combats, or maybe that's the way you do it. Magic doesn't really need a strength because you're just casting spells, but strength gives you a chance to hit a little bit quicker in with ranged and melee, and maybe that'll help sort of combat that 4-tick auto attack. Maybe that's something they can use strength to help combat that. Maybe I mean, as I said, not a game developer, don't know, but might be something they could look at there. Moving on, planted feet for melee. We are still looking into it, and we discussed this for ED2, hence mutated melee abilities. We want to do it, but with some caveats. It's an idea we'd like to keep in the rewards space for now. And that is always good, keeping things for reward slots. Raid changes / improvements / loot stuff. Maybe in Game Jam, we'll look at it. We could speed it up. We probably won't speed up obtaining loot until we add more raid bosses. Again, raids as ED is the Elite Dungeons. It's not fighting those other bosses. They're not true raids.
Yeah, they got the names wrong.
They did. Elite Dungeons really does feel like a proper raid where you're running through, meet a big boss, go through a couple of mini bosses, meet a bigger boss, and then get to that end boss. So I far prefer the way they've...
Killer Bunny saying that he knows that says probably, but later on they said that they know that they're not going to touch 4-tick at all.
No, yeah. They said that last time because... They were going to remove both continuous and normal 4-tick auto attack, but there was such a lot of screaming about it, and some of it from the mods, that they only did the continuous and left the 4-tick, the standard in there.
Yeah, I don't think we're ever going to see a full removal of 4-tick.
No, that's it. Thoughts about introducing jumping mechanics. In most games, it's a movement enhancement, but in ours, we click to move. Therefore, it can be done in other ways without moving. For example, look at the issues as skill shot and clicking on or using an ability to prevent an attack, as we've done in the past. The closest we got to this is with 4-tick auto attack and spell weaving, but we don't want to push this as it would make things difficult down the line.
Weird.
Any plans to it? Yeah. Any plans to address the strong damage mitigation with defensive abilities? There's a lot of discussion with Debilitate as it can be insane on the top end. The problem with nerfing it is how it will affect lower tier players and general players' behavior towards a nerf. When we nerf something, we have to do it in a careful way. Usually we give back to the players in some way when we nerf something. If we were to ever address defense, it would be done as a larger system rebalance rather than tuning of a single ability. And finally, Mutated Fury versus normal version with Mutated Barge. It would take a minor rewrite to make it work that way, but we could give you the option. However, the ability book is becoming crowded. Basically, your concern has been noted. Do you want to take over for a moment?
Sure. I'll try. Entry group and PVM improvements. New player and free-to-play combat introduction improvements. Answer. This was discussed recently, and we are looking at introducing a new group, a free-to-play boss that teaches core mechanics you'd face in future bosses, like freedom against stuns and bleeds. We're also thinking about making it free-to-play only to force members to use free-to-play gear as well. We've also addressed this with redoing the Combat Academy. Interesting idea. I don't know about it.
Free-to-play only. That's interesting.
It's interesting. There's a lot that goes with that.
Being a member, all of a sudden...
I don't think I'd ever go to free-to-play to do anything ever.
Exactly.
I'm sure the free-to-play players might, use it, but I don't think I would ever go there to use it. Custom group size implementations, example Elite Dungeons. By allowing this, we've introduced a way to give solo players a challenge without needing to scale bosses, thus meaning less balancing. With that being said, we need to truly address our grouping systems and improve it. We also need to address the duo in Elite Dungeons, as it should be more rewarding than it currently is. Basically saying they know that their current grouping system sucks, and it should be more fluid and easy to find partnerships. ED issue solo group loot. This is done as it is easier to check if there's a group versus the number of players in it, but it may be addressed when we look into improving duo rewards in Elite Dungeons. We need also fix the teleporting bug between Elite Dungeons 1 and 2. Could we allow us to toggle of boss mechanics in practice mode to help us learn bosses? Shawnee is currently working on being able to select specific boss phases in practice mode. As for doing it with mechanics, it would be difficult for past bosses, but we will keep it in mind for future bosses. Another alternative would be to nerf versions similar to ED story mode, which is also being nerfed from 33 to 10% damage. So an interesting idea, like to make up story modes for current bosses, like just nerfing their damage so you wouldn't get wrecked. That's an interesting idea.
Well, and the good thing about that is you actually can learn the mechanics without having to panic. So
yeah,
they're all still there. You're only getting, well, at the moment 33% damage. But you can really learn it, see it, and nut it all out properly first before you go into a normal mode. I love that idea.
That's almost better than practice mode, because then, practice mode, you're still getting annihilated instantly, and you might not realize what killed you.
Yep.
Could the consumables be used in practice mode that be reclaimed?
No.
Probably not. It's just that's the easy way to say that. There's no easy way to do that.
I would say never anyway, because I mean that's the whole idea. You're paying to practice.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah.
You could go Dominion Tower style though, and just give you like that kind of stuff. Like you make it, or Shattered Worlds, where it gives you fake food that's not as good as like real food.
Yeah, well, if they did something like that, but yeah, I like the idea of a cost being involved in trying to learn the boss. So rather than sitting there and paying these elite PVMers to take you out, doing it normal mode, you're going and learning yourself, but it's still going to be at a cost for you. So if you do still want to get that kill and just pay them to do it, you've got that. But if you want to go and just learn yourself, well, at least you've still got a cost there.
Yeah, fair enough. What's the hardest part to develop new boss content? The core issue is the grid and tick system. What a surprise. Since our engine makes it much more difficult to do things compared to normal game engines. However, the more work with it, the more we've made it easier for ourselves. For example, Modsova improved cone circular attacks when we developed the Elite Dungeon, since Claudia's spiral attack has a safe spot due to how we originally designed it. Death in Death's Office. Players who died in Death's Office as a result of a bug would obviously be reimbursed. However, this issue should no longer exist since Ramen fixed it. There you go.
Actually, another PSA for people that Thieves mentioned. If you are doing the Nomad fight after Nomad's Elegy, the part where you play the sort of the three different characters, and Death is one of the characters you play. Mm-hmm. At the moment, as soon as you get to play Death, you die, or the game crashes instantly because Death is no longer in his office. It is the same character that they're using for the event at the moment. So no one go and do Nomad's Elegy at the moment until they fix that, because they put Frank in the in Death's office at the moment.
Oh, it would be great if Frank showed up in the quest.
You can't be in two places at once, apparently, Death. So
that's
there you
hilarious. Oh, that's great.
So yeah, just wanted to get that out there. I had that noted down to bring up earlier, and I forgot all about it until they were just talking about Death.
That's great. All right, moving along here. Does anyone else think RuneFest is incredibly amateur for such a large company? Asks Ghetto Moose. The stream itself, the venue, the marketing all seems like it's done by a super small company, not this massive $11 a month company. It might be grouchy. I might be grouchy just because I didn't go, but it just looks incredibly budget.
As I said, from the people that I know who went, I've spoken to a couple of people. They absolutely loved it. They reckon it was a fantastic event. Everything there. I think a lot of the complaints this time round were it looked very empty, but that's because, as we said, the entire venue they had last time could fit into just one of the rooms that they had discussions in this time round. It was like 5 times the size as their last one. I don't understand what he means by a massive $11 a month company.
I think he's just taking a shot at the fact that Jagex has a lot of money, and he thinks that the event should have been more lavish, which I don't... Like, is he trying to compare it to BlizzCon or PAX? Like, what are you...
Which is a multi-billion-dollar company.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Let's remember this company grossed, was it $90 million? I mean, the net revenue was something like $47 million. That's not a lot of money for a company, especially when you've got 300 odd employees. $47 million. It sounds like a lot of money, but it is not a lot of money for a company to be making.
Here's what he says to follow up when Mod Poerky asks what exactly his concerns were. He says, for the screens that you see on stage, do you see them set up so that it shows the current and next slide? Or is it just the current screen? It seems that Mod Mark and the others seem surprised what comes on next, or haven't seen at all the presentation slides before giving it. I'm also interested to know what software you use to make these presentations. Keynote? Them having to read from a notebook or a piece of paper rather than going off bullet points or is another one that could be improved. Whilst I appreciate that most of them probably are not ones for public speaking, Mark should be used to these by now and not need a script.
Oh,
I mean, that's just... I mean, for God's sakes, our president still reads off of fucking pieces of paper.
Yeah, I know. I just want to bring up there. I mean, Mod Mark isn't just sitting there and presenting things. He's actually a developer. He's developing a MMO. He's not going to sit there and waste hours and hours memorizing that he's going to get up there and speak to once. He's going to have a book there to read from.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. This is nitpicking and just being a little bitch.
Yep. Those are just two things that I see this year that could be improved, spelled incorrectly. Improved. But other than that, this year looks far better, which is, again... Like, he ends by saying this year looks far better. Like, he edits and says, just rewatch the main RS3 feature update stream, and it shows that they have two big screens facing the stage, and they both show what's currently on the big projector. One should be for the next slide so they can look down and see what's next, rather than waiting to see what's next along everyone else. This is just somebody that has nothing better to do with their time, who thinks that their opinion is way more important than it is.
Yeah,
they've self-titled themselves as QA tester number 24,601. So yes, they think they are way more important than they are.
And let's not forget, they are using technology. I mean, yes, sometimes slides get skipped or it goes too fast or something like that. That's not their fault. That's just the guy behind the thing. Might have skipped one, might not have pushed the button properly. It might have just lagged. He's talking about RuneFest 2013 showed him really good at being at it. But this year he was far more rushed and not well rehearsed. As we said, he has been working in 2013. He didn't have the workload that he has now.
This was the least sweatiest he's ever been on stage. So I don't know what this guy is talking about.
Yeah,
that's all I have to say.
What I do love, though, most people are backing up Jagex on it. Most people are against this guy just reading down a lot of the.
No, I think Mark did wonderful.
Yeah,
and I think the whole RuneFest this year was wonderful. I think they did great, and yes, the venue was probably larger than they needed it to be, but that's just growing pains, to be honest with you. I think RuneScape is getting larger than it has ever been. And that's something to say for a 17-year-old game.
That's it, and especially with mobile coming in, you want a bigger venue.
Yeah.
You want that there. I do want to just point out, and I think this guy, one part he has hit the nail right on the head with in his original post, and that is he's just grouchy because he didn't get to go.
But yeah, right. That was the main point. He was like, I didn't get to go. Yeah, I didn't get to go either, mate. But you know what? I lived. I had a good time.
Yep.
Moving along here. Let's see here. We got one from Ryu Kawaii, who did go to RuneFest 2018 according to their flair. He says, no moderation in Twitch chat is a mistake. And I agree with them. That's why we hosted our own RuneFest on our own Twitch channel where we had our own moderated Twitch chat where it was nice and safe and quiet. It said, if you are here just to say ignore chat, please move on. Like always, the stream says lack completely on moderators, and to be honest, watching any RuneScape 3 stream is painful. Come on over to Magebit.tv. It's nice and never will we allow any sort of hate in our chat. We stream every Monday morning. Probably inconvenient for everyone on planet Earth, but that's okay.
I do like how he uses double L for everything that's got an L in it. By the way,
yeah, I mean, double L is always the safe way to go. Twitch chat is usually shit. I mean, he's right, but but even then, I'm just kidding. Twitch chat, I love you. You don't see the kind of disrespect there is in here, with constant spam. Double M as well, by the way. You know what? Just double up when you're unsure. When you're unsure on consonants, just double up. Honestly, it's a good rule in English. I agree. when with constant spam against the game itself without constant anything being done, making it completely impossible to interact with other interested on what I am hard on with this sentence. I'll tell you what, interested what is being said with only messages of OSRS kids trolling and spamming.
And that's where their biggest problem is. It is all the OSRS haters coming over and doing it. Also, impossible 1S. You forgot the double on that one.
I'm sorry. I was having a really hard time getting through that sentence.
Oh my god. And okay. Next, would it be so hard to implement a bot to ban keywords? So this kind of shit is at least reduced. What about a few human moderators to deal with the leftover hate messages? They do have moderators there. Only one, obviously, I think. But you know, with the amount of people watching and spamming on there, it's very hard to catch everything. Even if even them trying to catch a question with all the stuff flying by. You know, we've said that all. I'm sorry, I'm just reading other words on there. God, I just want to get a red pencil out and start correcting everything. just doing my head in. We say it all the time. I just turn the chat off. I can't handle reading, especially as soon as they get Mod Luna or someone on, and all these little 13-year-olds drooling over a female on stream and things like that. And it's all the hate, the OSRS haters who come across and just spam and just hang crap on everything. Just drives my
I got timed out for saying stop saying Lootescape once.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, Killer Bunny got muted on an RS stream. He's telling us. That's right. I remember you getting that was only so ago too.
Right.
Actually, probably a bit longer than that now, but yeah, I lose track of time very easily.
All right. Before we jump into the next topic, I want to take a quick bathroom break so I'm fresh up for this if I can.
Yep.
If you want to just hold down the fort, I mean, you can feel free to start reading Skidler's PSA, or if you want, you can switch up and read the PSA on not downloading malware on your goddamn phone.
I'll jump onto that one because we want to have a good discussion on this next one anyway. So I will jump ahead. This is a PSA, and this is for people who are out there looking at getting... Oh, Jesus. Are you still alive? Did you live? Sounds like May just went head first. Anyway, the mobile beta that has just come out, if you didn't get into it, apparently there are some third-party people out there offering things. So this is basically telling you, if you don't get a spot on the mobile beta, do not download any third-party APK. Seriously, it's common sense. If you don't want your account hacked or an unwanted malware/spyware installed on your phone, do not install third-party APKs. Folks at Android Gaming can fill you in with how to avoid getting your phone infected. Surely you must be desperate to try it out, but would it kill you to wait until the next beta batch? Is it worth the risk? Scammers will tell you what you want to hear and read that it's safe, it's working 100%, it's legit. Just a warning, though, you are free to do whatever you want. Just don't come crying to the sub when you mysteriously get your account hacked. I want to give you out this message because there's people on this sub that don't know any better. Third-party APKs are dangerous and they're similar to dodgy PC programs. Also because the amount of confidential information on everyone's devices is too valuable to risk and lose just because you can't wait anymore for a second beta. Also, don't open any emails that contain any APK files claiming they're from Jagex. Come on, that's so easy to avoid. Don't be innocent, don't be naive, don't be a fool. Stay safe and always download from the official sources. And this is a timely reminder because, they only had 25,000 spots for the beta. They are going to be releasing more as they get some fixes in and, you can sort of handle more people on it. They will be setting out, they'll wave up the closed beta to more and more people. Please wait. Please don't try any third-party APK because, we love this game. We're here for a reason. Don't. It's
a great way to get your account stolen.
Don't risk your account for these type of
And yeah, it's a great way to get your data stolen in general, for sure. Yeah.
Well, especially on your phone. I mean, you do your banking and everything on your phone, and if they can get some spyware and malware on there, you're screwed. It's not just RuneScape.
Your location data,
your bank account, everything. You got some photos you shouldn't have on there. They can get out, things like that too. So just be very, very aware doing that type of stuff.
I mean, I haven't taken a picture of anything special in probably since I was like 19, but you know.
I never have because I've always been scared of someone seeing it.
Well, that's the thing is, like, even then, back when I was 19, we had this thing called the PowerShot 400 SD. It was a digital camera, and it wasn't connected to the internet. You know, remember that?
Yep.
Oh my God, those days were crazy when your phone and your camera were two separate devices. And like the phone was $300 and the phone and the camera was also $300. Oh my God.
Yes.
Good days. Good days. All right. So
now this next one, and again, this is tongue in cheek. This just shows us the type of people that we deal with over in RS.
So, all right. I was watching Northern Lion last night. This is just a quick preface. I just want to say, and Northern Lion is one of my favorite streamers, and it's funny because I think the night before or something, we were you and I were streaming on your channel, and a new listener or viewer came in and asked if either of us knew Northern Lion, and I was like, I know Northern Lion, and I put one of his emotes because I'm a sub to his channel, into the chat just to show my fandom to Northern Lion, and they were like, oh yeah, you guys remind me of Northern Lion, and I was like, that's an honor. And then Northern Lion, yesterday on the Northern Lion Live Super Show, was talking about the dark corners of Twitch, and was good. And he goes like, like IRL streamers and like, RuneScape streamers, you know, those are the places on Twitch are like, I don't want to go there. And I was like, aw. I was like, he thinks we're dirty. And then we get this. Gore allegedly harassing multiple girls, fighting Skidler, getting arrested and more at RuneFest. And I'm like, yeah, okay. I get it.
Yep.
All right. So here again, this is all allegedly. And this, again, Gore, Ice Poseidon. All these creeps are not helping the RuneScape 3 live streamer cultures. RS Golden Glory. All these creeps are not helping RuneScape 3 streamers' cases, okay? Like, we've got a lot of really creepy streamers in our...
Aren't they old school?
No, right? These are RuneScape 3 streamers. Well, Gore is
old school.
Gore is old school rather, to be...
Yeah, that's what I thought, because it's on the old school one, I thought.
Okay. To be fair, but the RuneScape community as a whole, we are one here. I want to just say, you know. But RS Glory and Gold is RS3, I think. Or he might be cross-platform, I don't know. I say platform as in game, but I don't know. Either way, we're one community here, and this is unacceptable behavior, and it needs to be talked about. ISIS OSRs, thank you, Supercrack. Okay, all of this behavior is unacceptable, and it needs to be brought to light. But again, this is alleged, so I just have to say that as, these stories come to light. I can't prove or disprove them, but I will read them off to make light of them, and you can take this information as a grain of salt and do with it as you wish. This is coming from Skidler's Twitter account. This is regarding an altercation that occurred between me and Gore on a Saturday evening, for a statement, as there are false rumors circulating. So this is his account of what occurred, and this all is coming from a discussion posted by Oceanhorn Crosspost that has 137 upvotes, cross-posted from old school RuneScape to RuneScape 3. There are several posts inside here. We're only going to be covering the talk points. There are videos in here as well. There's a link in the show notes if you want to go into the videos as well. The videos cover footage of the fight and footage of Gore getting arrested by the police, as well as some other responses to the situation by Gore as well. And according to this, Gore is almost 30 years old, married, and has a 1-year-old child. So not exactly model behavior if this is true. So it says here, given it has now come out and there are some very contradicting stories circulating Twitter, I think it is probably wise that a quick statement on what happened between me and Gore after RuneFest on Saturday, October 6th. After RuneFest, lots of people, both content creators and RuneFest attendees, went back to the Aviator Hotel where Jagex had kindly put many of us up. Gore, along with a bunch of friends, were also in attendance at the bar at the hotel. I had heard from various women who were there that Gore had made inappropriate sexual remarks to them, which made them feel incredibly uncomfortable. One of these women was very close, reserved, and lovely friend of mine, Rachel. He had sat down next to her and was repeatedly commenting on her breasts and how attractive they were. She made it clear to her, Gore, that she was uncomfortable. However, he continued, not only making comments, but fetched multiple people whom he was with to validate his opinion of her breasts. That's horrible. To gang up on her, that's horrible.
Yeah, especially when she's told you they
that's just unacceptable behavior. Rachel, and that also brings multiple eyewitnesses into this situation. Rachel approached me shortly after, distraught, and left the hotel. After 20 minutes later, police had turned up at the hotel. This, I believe, was due to noise complaints by other guests who had paid to stay, so the police were there to clear people out. I went outside to the front of the hotel and saw Gore with about 6 of his friends. I approached him in a casual manner and asked him if I could have a word with him in private. He obliged, and I told him to follow us to speak. We walked around 5 meters away from his friends and other hotel guests who were outside smoking. When I stated, look, Ali, or Lee, I don't know how to say his name, sorry. You've really upset one of my close friends with things you've said to her, and it's absolutely not acceptable to talk to people like that. He responded instantly in an aggressive raised tone, shouting, "Are you really going to fucking white knight that stupid bitch? Really? Are you really going to do this?" Here I made it abundantly clear to Gore that I sought no physical, violent confrontation, just that I really wanted to make it clear that he'd upset a close friend of mine, to point out which by she went home. At most, I sought an apology for her and perhaps some remorse on his side. Gore began to get more hostile and continued to raise his voice. As a result, people started gathering around and spectating what was happening. I said, "Look, Ali," Gore. I'm just going to call him Gore because I'm not sure if it's Ali or Ali. It's probably Ali, but I don't know. I do not want to.
Gross is what he is, so let's just.
Yeah, I'm just going to call him Gross. Good idea. Yeah. I do not want to fight, so calm down. I just want to talk to you. He responded, but you do not. He says, but you do not want a fucking fight, do you? As more people gathered around, Gross became more aggravated and aggressive. He turned to one of my friends recently, just turning 18, Alex. He screamed, "What the F are you looking at?" in Alex's face, and then started pushing him. Alex's brother, Dom, tried to stand in between the two and stop Gross from shoving Alex, but he was relentless in shoving and screaming in both of their faces. Alex, being quite young, is like a brother to me, and I'll be honest, at this point, I felt as though I needed to step in. I ran over to both of them and shoved Gore out of Alex's way, at which point I was grabbed around the back of the neck by one of Gore's friends and thrown into the side of a moving car. I was being held down by a couple of Gore's friends when Gore and another of a couple of his friends ran over and started repeatedly kicking me whilst I was on the ground. This happened in a matter of seconds and was broken up very quickly by police, bystanders, and Fox, who ran out of the hotel to help me. I was taken to the side by police, who let me go into the hotel, and I believe Gross and his friends were escorted off the premises by police. I am particularly embarrassed by the state of affairs that took place on Saturday, specifically as this was an event that was put on by Jagex for both players and content creators alike, and I am there to represent them. I had no intention of a physical altercation taking place and would like to take this opportunity to apologize to Jagex, who hosted an amazing weekend and treated both myself and every other content creator like royalty. I do not, however, apologize for confronting Gross about his relentless sexual harassment towards multiple women, including a close friend of mine. I do, on the other hand, wish that this hadn't escalated to the degree that it did.
And I just want to say, congratulations to this guy who did stand up for his friend. I mean, he's asked the guy to walk away, talk about it. I mean, obviously the guy's had too much to drink, is just a total douchebag who has no respect for women whatsoever. But I mean, too often these days people see that type of stuff and just walk away or don't worry about it. I mean, and we need to call this type of crap out. It's not okay if the woman is not into it and you're making her uncomfortable. It's not okay to keep going with this. And then, I mean, for his mates to jump in and start kicking him while he's on the ground. I mean, I'm sorry. You're cowards. You are a bunch of weasels. I hope charges are pressed, and I hope every single one of you gets this on your permanent police record, because this type of crap is just not on. But, you know, again, I just want to say, you know, well done for standing up for the woman involved, because there is no way that this is acceptable in any situation.
Yeah. Gross has a 57-minute clearing up questions about RuneFest video. Mate, if you need a 57-minute video to clear up questions about RuneFest, you guilty. Like,
yeah, that's right. No, that's right.
That deserves a snort right there, bro.
Yeah.
That you guilty if you need 57 minutes. I'm sorry. Like, that's too long. You doth protest too much, bro. Get off my stage. I'm not even gonna... Like, if that was like 1 minute and 7 seconds, or like 2 minutes or 5 minutes, I was gonna play it just to talk over you. But 57 minutes and 42 seconds? Get out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
I mean, there's another one. One of these videos, he was trying to kiss this girl, and she's had to pretend that there was another guy who was a boyfriend, and he still didn't care, still kept trying to kiss her. Things like that. I mean,
I would break his face, dude. Like, with my forehead. I got a strong forehead.
I mean, I'm very impressed with this guy by not just decking him in the first place. Because I'm sorry, anyone like that, you know, it's it just sickens me, people who do things like that.
Yeah. It's fucked up. I have to mark the show as explicit now on iTunes. God damn it. Anyway, good show. We got a few more topics to go here before we wrap it up. We're moving along here to now that Jagex have confirmed the removal of mobilizing armies, and I live in Massachusetts, so now everyone that you know shortens it down to MA. They're like, now that we're confirming the removal of Massachusetts. Like, every time I see MA, I'm like, what? Just messes with me.
We're removing you from the state of America.
Like, I'm getting removed. Should they have some sort of poll in game? Yes, go ahead.
Stop complaining about Donald Trump and you won't be removed.
Yeah, my whole state is, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see. It says, I really hate the fact that Bounty Hunter minigame, for example, is dead content run by a few players that have bot farms that make cash by reselling the rewards on the Grand Exchange. The worlds are full of blah blah blah. You're right. They're right. They're basically right. There's a ton of content that needs to be removed, and I put this question in to basically like brainstorm what content could be on that poll. They're right. Bounty Hunter's one of them. What else? What else can we think of that could be removed? Because I had a few in my mind.
I mean,
yeah.
In all honesty, most of the mini games could be removed.
Could be, but like, there's a few of them that I'm gonna say, like, I'd put a veto on.
What's that one?
There's a hard no on.
The one that's out in Mossless Harmless.
Oh yeah, Trouble Brewing can get fucked.
Trouble Brewing, Fishing Trawler.
That one can go. Yeah.
Another one.
But like, stay away from Stealing Creation. I love that mini game, even though it's not really used very much. I still really like it.
But still, people do it, and it's. I mean, it's got. I mean, the XP rewards are pretty decent. I mean, I don't like...
Heist is broken to hell, but I love it, and I want to see it fixed.
Yeah. I mean, I still love Pest Control, but things like Soul Wars and things
Pest
like
Control,
that I don't think is played anymore.
Pest Control needs to stay, but Conquest can go. Like, Conquest can just...
Conquest, yeah, there's
trash.
another one that is not really used. I still like Monkey Face Punch Bonanza. I think
Monkey Face Punch Bonanza. Yeah, yep. That can stay. I was gonna say can stay. Monkey Face was Bonanza can stay.
But you know, there are several out there, and it may not be a matter of removing
Mage training arena that can get burned to the ground.
Yeah, I mean, who goes there anymore?
Not me. I won't go there
unless the only reason you go there, I think, is there's something you have to do out there for your comp cape.
That's why I'm trying to get it gone, because I don't want to do it for comp.
Oh, mate, it's like half an hour.
You think that, but in my mind, it feels like an eternity.
Yeah, the wilderness PK.
Yeah, the whole wilderness. You're right. Yep.
I told you, it's a 6 age. It's time we re-sow it and reclaim it all.
Yeah. No, the wilderness could be completely redone. I agree. Maybe that's what the Double XL project is.
Yes.
You never know.
But no, seriously. I mean, a lot of the mini
wilderness warband. No, I'm just kidding. People love that.
Yes. No. Get rid of. I totally agree. Get rid of wilderness warbands. The Gobi one.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Gobi bands. People actually play that though.
I know. I am actually maxing Gobi rep out by just buying the every time the shop has the Gobi charms on it. I just
same. Yeah, I agree with that.
But still, I mean, there are a lot. I mean,
I agree with Killer Bunny. The mage training arena would be doable if they would just excel. Like even if it was just put on a reward enhancer from the Maw, just make it go faster. Like double the rate at which it's done, and I would be okay with it. It's too slow for me. Each room takes like 30 minutes. That's the problem.
Sorry, I'm thinking of the mage arena out at
in the wilderness.
In the wilderness.
Yeah, that takes like 30 minutes. No, I'm out near the dueling arena. That place, that hellscape.
Yeah, that's
where you're like
forever.
Putting the freaking cubes and then like the Hyalking and the.
I know. Hey,
the hat that swears at you.
On it.
Okay. Yeah,
I made a whole video series.
I've watched it.
So.
Yeah, it's horrible. Not the video series, like just doing it is horrible.
I got to the second one and I thought, why the frick did I decide to start doing this as a video series?
Yeah, I watched it and then I was like, I can't do this. Like I watched the video series to learn how to do, and I was like, I'm not doing this. That was literally my deciding factor on doing 120 in every skill instead of getting the comp cape. I stopped getting the comp cape because of Magic Training Arena. Serious.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, no, don't blame me.
I was doing it with David. I was doing comp cape when David was doing comp cape. What, like a year and a half ago? And I stopped. I was doing Magic Training Arena with him, and I dropped out because it was ridiculous.
And again, I don't mind it taking so long if there were good rewards from it. You know, update the rewards. You know, have enhancers there. Spend your points.
The reward is a cranky hat that yells at you.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
And like two XP in Magic.
Yeah, no, it's definitely, even if they've made it, you know, give a much better Magic experience, or you know, it gives you a bunch of runes that you can sort of sell and make GP from or something like that. I don't know. So, but yeah, either get rid of them or just update the rewards. And I think that on a lot of those type of things, updating rewards might be an easier way than just taking them out.
That's
Bones to Peach. Let's make a new one that gives you
That's the technical reward, right?
Not to sailfish, but something equivalent. Bones to
HSR.
But something where you're going to get food that's going to be worth 2k rather than 900 health points.
Bones to Bonds. That's at least that has a nice
Bones to Bonds.
I like that. All right, we have one final topic here. It's kind of a serious one. We don't generally end on serious topics, but yeah, whatever. This is by Kasuka. It's only upvoted by 4, but one of the upvotes is mine. But it's on the positive side. It's got a 54% upvote rate, which tells me that it's like, OSRS came in here and heavily bombed it, but the EOC players were able to keep this topic afloat, basically.
Yep.
Meaning that it's positive here, and I like that. So again, positive message, but it's a serious topic. Can we please stop polarizing everything? There's already way too much polarization going on in the world today. Can we all just please stop? The whole world RS3 versus OSRS thing is just getting out of hand on both sides. 110 agility, yay! These kind of games aren't meant to help us escape that everyday drain on life that puts us on... I read that sentence completely wrong, sorry. These kind of games are meant to help us escape that everyday drain that life puts on us. Yet, we as a collective community seem to want to just create unnecessary conflict these two factions here as well. Which is true. We have this like old school RuneScape versus old school RS that like, why? It doesn't need to exist. They're two separate games. No. Fighting against each other literally creates nothing. Like, there's no need to have the contention. It benefits nobody. OSRS is great for competitive play and has helped a bunch with driving traffic to RuneScape from Twitch and YouTube. It's allowed those who disliked EOC to continue playing the game and stay within the overall RuneScape fan base. It serves that purpose extremely well. Without it, players who left the illegal private servers, which is never a good thing for the long run of the game studio. It's very true. That's basically what old school RuneScape did, is it brought a lot of those
people back to the official private server.
Exactly. And that's why when like Pern jabs at it and calls it the official private server all the time, but that's kind of a loving term because it brought a lot of those people back from those illegal private servers because that's exactly where they were. RS3 is great for those that love the lore of RuneScape and want those continued quest lines. The community is fine with EOC, AFK skilling, and gets to enjoy content. Now, go ahead.
I mean, there is a lot of AFK skilling in old school as well. The majority of their skills are just like ours. They are AFK.
They just don't want to talk about it. The community there is fine with EOC, AFK skilling, and gets to enjoy new content like player-owned farms, etc. And again, old school RuneScape also has player-owned farms, and they're getting lots of cool content as well. RuneScape 3 isn't for everyone, of course, but that doesn't make it a bad game. It has its own purpose and its own audience who love it every minute. But both versions of the game have their own respective audiences, and both versions of the game are their own. Each side should respect each other. There is no right or wrong version to play. It's simply a matter of personal preference or what you want out of the game. RuneScape 3 players need to stop shitting on old school RuneScape players and generalizing them as terrible people. There will always be toxic people within every community. RuneScape 3 is no exception to this rule and has its own fare of toxicity. Pyrnassius! No, just kidding.
And that's true. We have our fair share of toxicity. OSRS just has the majority of toxicity.
Yeah, I mean, I will agree with that. I will agree that old school RuneScape players are a little more toxic than old school RuneScape players, but they come from a different time. Old school RuneScape players need to stop shitting on RuneScape 3 players for wanting to play on that version. Yes, there are microtransactions. They know. They see them literally every single time they play. You don't need to constantly remind them about it. They either don't mind them or do, and they are vocal about it, but still continue to enjoy the version of the game they want to play. They are vocal about it, as you previously mentioned. They enjoy playing RuneScape 3 just as much as you enjoy playing old school RuneScape, or they're vocal about it if they don't. There is no point in... Go ahead.
There is nothing forcing you to take on any of those MTXs anyway. Yeah, if you don't like them, just don't spend money on them. Simple.
Aye, and I'm there with you now on that point. And it
took you a long time, but
it took me. Well, it took me a long time.
I finally saw how right I am.
It took me the right time and the right medications. Really, that's the problem. It really does have a lot to do with the ability to control yourself and understand, what Treasure Hunter is, and having the ability to I knew I was emotionally compromised and Treasure Hunter could be a danger for me. Now that I know that my impulsivity and whatnot, like my mood disorder, is in a better control, I don't fear Treasure Hunter anymore, so I'm not afraid to use it, and I can be more of an advocate for that type of thing now that I know that people like me, that there is a solution. Like, I didn't realize that there was an answer to my problem. I really didn't. I was pretty sure that that was just how I was going to have to live my life for the rest of my life. But turns out that's not the case. And if Treasure Hunter remains the way it is and we can regulate it and make sure that it is not able to be cashed out into, you know, actual real money, then I think we can keep it controlled, is what I'm trying to say. You know, I think that there is a place for it as long as it doesn't get out of control. And I think I could release a completely revised statement on Treasure Hunter. This is what I'm trying to say. I have a completely new take on Treasure Hunter. I don't think it is great. I don't think it's the best form of microtransaction, but I also don't think that it is 100% the same as pulling a slot machine at a casino anymore. So, again, I'd be willing to, like, you know, have a full discussion about this at a different time. Because I could probably fill a full half-an-hour discussion about it. Anyway,
yep.
We should probably at like the end of the year or something, or whenever they decide to do their like remake of the Loyalty Star, or whenever they do their remake of MTX, I'll probably do my retake on how I feel about all that stuff again.
Sounds good.
Because we did it last year, and I'll probably do it again next year. Anyway. Moving on to this, it says, there's no point in making statements like RS3 saves old school RuneScape from microtransactions. There's no point in saying old school RuneScape is better because it has more numbers than RuneScape 3, or RuneScape 3 is better because it has better graphics, or old school RuneScape is better because experiences means something, or RuneScape 3 is keeping old school RuneScape alive, or old school RuneScape... is you don't think old school RuneScape would stand on its own? You don't think if it had its own membership?
I would like to see the paid memberships. But see, the problem is because a lot of people do play both games. But I'd like to see who only play OSRS. How many are paid members and how many are free to play members who only play that one format of the game?
I think that old school RuneScape could 100% sustain itself. Via membership alone,
probably could now, yeah.
Just because it's so low budget to create.
Yes,
in this day and age, old school RuneScape could pump out meaningful updates on a monthly basis with probably, you know, a 15-man team and still be, you know, profitable.
Yeah.
And
however,
yeah,
they will also need to soon move across to the new engine when Java is not supported by anything anymore.
That's a good point as well.
I mean, how much longer has... Let's have a look at really. The game has been going for 5 years. This game's been going for 17 years. How much longer has Java got really on the internet as a legitimate... And it's not even really legitimate now. I mean, so many of the browsers. I mean, Chrome stopped supporting it. Firefox have stopped supporting it. You've got to actually get add-ons, extensions.
Well, that's the thing is
to be able to play them.
Is basically now you're downloading it as an application, right? That's the thing.
That's right. So how much longer is that going to be viable?
How much longer are operating systems going to continue to support Java? I think is the main question.
Exactly.
I would say probably for at least another 10 years. Java.
You reckon 10?
Yeah, Java is still supported in the enterprise fairly heavily. That's the thing.
Okay.
Java's used pretty heavily in server settings. That's where it's mainly used. That's the thing is Java is not really used in gaming. It's really weird. Like the fact that RuneScape uses Java to make RuneScape is just such an offshot. That's like it blows my mind.
The other thing, though, also how much longer as we're getting.
How are you going to find new devs? Is really the question.
New devs, more and more powerful computers which can break into these older programs a lot more easily. How long before it is? Yeah, there's your 13-year-old kids at school writing hacks for Java clients and things all the time.
There's also, just to play devil's advocate, there's the good old-fashioned security term called security through obscurity, meaning things that are so old are actually harder to hack because nobody has any idea how they work anymore.
But if you're talking about things like on such if that type of thing are using it. I mean, it's obviously some. I mean, it took a long time before Apple started getting malware and such written for it.
Yeah, that
wasn't that many people on
that's
it.
the old
Now
security through obscurity.
We won't ever get hacked. And now all of a sudden there's all these things.
Yeah, because they got popular.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
it.
They got caught with their pants down for a few years. Yeah,
that's it. But yeah, but no, I do probably mean because of how low maintenance that game is, it could probably survive on its own okay by now. But I still would love to see, and mobile did bring so many new players back, or old players who've come back for it. But I would still like to see a breakdown of actual paid members who only play that one form of game, not ones who jump between two.
So you know what's interesting?
And free to play. Yep.
Android is based off of Java. So
yep.
Writing...
That's true, yeah.
Writing RuneScape client, especially for old school RuneScape on Java, probably wasn't incredibly hard. For old school RuneScape specifically, I'm thinking. But
yep.
For RuneScape 3, might have been why it took longer to get RuneScape 3 out the door, just a thought. But for iOS, imagine that. Like, iOS is based off of Swift, I believe, or
Swift, yep.
So that's like a whole nother can of worms. I can only imagine what challenges are faced when trying to do that, converting the code over and whatnot. All right. Eating yogurt, bad idea. Putting dairy and spoken word do not go well together. But I apologize. I did not get to eat much food today.
That's okay. I can continue on if you like while you eat that.
Sure, if you'd like to finish it. This is our last topic, so feel free to just do the last paragraph if you'd like.
RS3 has better bossing than OSRS. OSRS is more rewarding than RS3. We are literally just going back and forth over pointless arguments and dividing ourselves into an extremely polarized community. This is extremely dangerous if we don't stop this. We all love RuneScape. It's a game that shares an extremely special place in all our hearts. Some of us have been playing this game since its beginnings, and because of that, view different periods and aspects of the game as special to us. Some may remember those days back when we were younger and how challenging and rewarding RuneScape was. OSRS allows us to continue that love and enjoy the game how we remember, allowing us to have the challenge and to show off our skills to the community. Some of us may have been playing for years and have the same character we started with when we were younger. That character is extremely special. It's grown as we've grown. Continuing our ventures in RuneScape 3 with the same character to this day is amazing. Being able to see the world of RuneScape change around us from what we remember, seeing it evolve with the ages and become something truly amazing. There is no right version of RuneScape and there is no wrong version of RuneScape. There's only the official game and the official private server. The community thread we all share is our deep love for this game. Together we make up an amazing community that has been around for years. Not many games can boast about such a thing. We need to respect one another's playstyles and stop attacking each other just due to the version of the game we play. We are all adventurers in the world of Gielinor together. Very well said.
Yeah, good ending. Good ending.
And I do make a lot of jokes about OSRS. I in all honesty, I have nothing against the game. It is for comical reasons only, for entertainment. I've always said, play the game that you like. Play how you like. There's no best way. There's no right way to play the game. If you want to be efficient, be efficient. If you want to stand around and chat to people, you just want to go off on quests. You want to sit there and AFK cutting wood. You want to go bossing. Whatever you like to do. It's a game for fun to escape life. Enjoy it.
Yeah, we had someone I think in one of our morning shows the other evening. Like they were really overwhelmed because they were new to RuneScape and they were like, "Where the heck do I start?" And I was like, what do you like? That's the main important thing. Like, don't get...
I remember him.
Yeah, don't do what you think is most important. Do what you want to do. Enjoy the game. First figure out what's important to you and then go from there. But yeah. Anything important you want to bring up? Any things you got to plug?
No, that's basically it. I just want to say to everyone out there listening, remember, get your suggestions in for the next Gielinor Origins
tweet me
podcast.
or PM me or something.
Yep, I want to get that out in the first week of November. So we'll get all those in this week. We will get the poll out to the Patreon members once we get all the names in.
Poll's going up on Sunday. That's what I just decided that right now. So please get, if you want something on the poll, please get the poll up. Please get me your entry by Sunday, either on Twitter, Facebook, in-game, Discord, which all that social media stuff's coming up in a second here. So listen if you have, you want to contact me, you know, listen. But yeah, get ready.
And if you are late, or you are listening to this sort of later on in the week, this will be happening every in Gillenor's Origin series every month. So if you miss out on getting that name in this month, don't despair, because you can always enter it for the December one.
Yes, of course. We will continue to produce these on a monthly basis as long as Pern is willing to do them.
Yep.
Anyway, in the meantime, you can find us in many different places, including on social media. We have a Facebook for you, which is facebook.com/RSWeekly. We also have a Twitter account for you at RSWeekly. Those are 2 ways you can contact us. You can also join us on our Discord. If you pop open your web browser and type in runescape.chat, that'll open up your Discord if you have it installed, and it will redirect you to our Discord channel. If you could, please take the time to rate us and review us in iTunes or whatever podcast aggregator you use to obtain the podcast, if you can. If you are listening to the podcast live, please enable notifications, subscribe, follow, whatever you use to listen to the channel so you know when we go live. And if you want, please check us out in-game. We got a clan chat for you. Clan chat, kill, skill, and chill. On the web, you can follow us at runescape.club. That is our Rune Clan ranking. You can follow me personally on the web as well at runescape.expert. That is my personal Rune Clan page. You can follow my I guess all of my challenges and whatnot, my achievements, my XP, all that stuff. You can check out our YouTube channel for all of our videos and whatnot. That's runescape.video. Again, our Discord channel, if you want to get to it, is runescape.chat. Our podcast archive is runescape.today. If you're looking to help out the channel and support what we do here, you can go to our Patreon page, patreon.com/RuneScape. By supporting the show at $1 or more, you can get our morning, or pre-shows rather, sorry. Every pre-show we do before the show is just getting ready and whatnot, and you can listen to that. We generally talk about what's been going on, and sometimes we drop little, hints and stuff as what's been in the works. This pre-show is in the works. I was looking to get it going up, and it's a little corrupted at the moment. I'm going to try to fix it. It says it's 3 minutes and 58 seconds long, and that's never a good thing. So I'm going to try to fix that and hopefully get that up to everyone. But if not, if this week's pre-show is broken, I will do something else instead to make it up, which is unfortunate because it was a really good pre-show. But I'm going to try to use the XSplit healing program, and I'll try to use a bunch of other softwares to try and reset the markers, because the data's there. It's just like the markers are wrong. Anyway, patreon.com/RuneScape if you want to support the show. We've been doing morning shows every morning in October so far. You can catch those over at magebit.tv. That's our Twitch channel, or twitch.tv/magebit right there. That's every morning. We start sometime between like 7:30 and 8:30, and we go until basically we go as long as I want. Generally we stop. We stop. It's a hard stop at noon basically, but we've been going anywhere between 7:30 to 10:30, sometimes 11:30. We go as long as there's chat to talk to, basically. So yeah, morning show, Magebit in the morning. Come check it out if you are a morning person. You can put it on for your morning commute or whatever. That's over on our Twitch channel. Come check it out if you're interested. Pern's been also streaming on Twitch in the mornings sometime as well, so that's been pretty cool too. Don't forget to follow him as well. He's Pyrnassius RS on Twitch. Big special thanks as well to our top Patreon supporter, Sudwood, and also 10 other supporters as well on our Patreon page as well. Thank you so much for your continued support as well. Really big thanks to our Patreon supporters. Patreon.com/RuneScape. Thank you so much for supporting what I and all of our co-hosts do on our channel. Thank you so much. And again, we'll be doing it all over again next week here on RuneScape Weekly. Thank you so much, and happy scaping.